Songs of the Soul. To which part of the world, or the all, shall we point that would indicate to us that this part or that part is where soul resides? Perhaps we think soul is the magnetic force field of Faraday, who is the soul. For very learned men say it is from magnetism found in a lodestone, first observed by Thales of Miletus, 600 BC, who said the lodestone has soul. Or perhaps the gravitational force of Einstein's general relativity and Mach's principle is the modern idea of the soul. A force whose waveform, which spans millions of light years, was detected in 2016. Perhaps this soul is the epiphenomena of firing neurons or deeper level proteins, or it is an epiphenomenon of the electromagnetic activity of chemistry and brain states. Or perhaps we may catch a glimpse of the soul across the whole landscape of the brain. Soul undoubtedly evolved slowly out of biological adaptation, perhaps from an eukaryote, a primitive bit singularity, such as an amino acid. No doubt it evolved from a far distant unconscious. From an unspecified, random happenings came the mysterious acquisition of life, perhaps the beginning of the computation machine. Who knows? Who the light being of the soul is a question resolved in ancient alchemical conceptions, the resolution of which indicate the eternal unity and perfection of the all-soul. All perfect soul is a certain subordinate intellect, revolving round an intelligible intelligence or intellect prior to herself, formed to its image and participating the song of the formation of its holy intelligence and irradiations, says Proclus. Today we have our marvelous knowledge of the quantum world, the machine world, the simulation world, mechanical man. There is no end to the destruction of individual human identity. Each individual, who is plainly different from every other individual, has become a collective resource. The humans who died in the Gulag were resources in service of the greater good. A manipulated, horrifying dissociation that depersonifies all humanity and who robs all humans from their interconnected divine nature, who tolerates neither spirits nor soul nor being. As it appeared to me then, the omnipresent form of soul, body and spirit is all light, and that this intellectual conception stretches far beyond Pythagorean harmonics. Pythagoras says that a stone is frozen music. In our time, the wonderful David Bohm observes that a stone is frozen light. We admit in our living harmonics, living cosmos, on very different psychological considerations, that the whole ocean of water on Earth is the movement of light. Frozen light is a metaphor that Einstein uses when he rides on a light beam in his thought experiment. Still, Other physicists say the cosmic microwave background is fossilized light, a leftover from the Big Bang. Plotinus says this of divine imagination, of form and formation. Hence, it is necessary that the nature itself of form should be energy, resonance, activity. Form should produce or generate by being present. Just as if harmony, melody, resonance, song should of itself move the chords of a musical instrument. Form is the principality of existence to material things. The soul, invisible wholeness, the invisible hand that animates and vivifies all things. The song of the soul is harmonic form participating. She is ancient harmony, energy, activity, movement, power, and intelligence. And this song is all of these fast-breathing curved topologies of hyperdimensional space, for they belong to a greater invisible wholeness. Mother, the Divine Mother, living life and power, who participates within herself all potentiality of sacred irradiation. She is the movement of gravitation, of electricity, of magnetism, of nuclear activity, space, time, at once. But if we take living being and living life and living intelligence, who we cannot measure with our instruments or our minds, out of some things and reserve it for other things, we have become self-dismantling, decoupling, fragmenting all human interconnectedness, reducing, self-assembling. The machine taking itself minutely apart, conjecturing, examining, marveling. And then, remarkably, Technoman, swallowed up by the enchantment of his own projection, his language, his creation, his reality, assembles his magnificent reality machine. His true goal, laced with words of goodness and beneficence, is domination and control. Surreptitiously, stealthily, deceptively crafted. He assembles a world where each virtual reality is an insulated and isolated world. His happiness and suffering, sickness and health, his love and fear are mere calculations, measures of the degree of blemish left over by evolution that can be edited out of his genetics. This God can easily fix with his language the evolutionary flaws of the genome of the whole human race, better than sacred Mother Nature and all interconnecting fire. He can even assemble new laws of calculation for himself, the outcome of which is unpredictable. This confabulator of the same automata, assembled in novel constellations, never sleeps. The apex, a god, a supreme creation of evolution. Now, wondrously, he has become the new Father, who has neither song nor wholeness, or sacred interforming connection, nor the flight of the forgotten all soul. An incredible wholeness who vivifies all living, moving, forming, subtle, resonating patterns. Do we know who reality is? The ancient flight of human imagination possess two opposing poles: total annihilation, or the interforming, interconnecting movement, the elevation of the whole human race and the whole of our world and nature toward the good. All songs fly, it's their nature. You decide.